Oh man, here we go. King Squeak of Rage.
This past weekend, The Owl House reached its conclusion. While I'm a very late fan to the show, starting the show roughly 2.5 years after its initial release date, it's become one of my favorite TV shows, not only for its wonderful story, delightful characters, and witty writing, but for its impact on queer media as a whole, especially for a property produced by Disney. Even if Disney, well, you know. It's honestly a miracle that we even got a finale to this show, and to celebrate this miracle of a finale, I decided to make a CMF of the various characters we see in the final season of this show. With 12 different characters spread across the 3-part finale, featuring new prints and molds, there's something for everyone to enjoy, even for those of you who aren't Owl House fans. So, with that being said, I hope you enjoy the video. Really quickly, before we start, thank you all for 5,000 subscribers. I never imagined reaching this amount of subscribers, let alone in under a year. You all are the best, and I really hope you enjoyed the video. Our first minifigure is Luz Nocera, the main character of the Owl House. Her design is based off her Halloween costume, which is not only her look for a majority of Season 3, but her best look in the show. Her design uses mid-legs, as most of the teenage characters in the CMF do. She has new prints all over, including her face. She also has a hair-hat combo to represent her witch hat, because as everyone knows, a good witch needs her hat. She has a few accessories. She has 2 plant glyph accessories, one of which is being used to create a plant, and the other is just an unused glyph. She also has an alternate face with a smile, as well as an alternate hairpiece. Her other accessory is an egg piece, which is her talisman. While she eventually gets a new talisman, I designed this before the talisman was revealed, and designing new pieces is hard. I'll make it eventually, however. Next up is Luz's girlfriend, Amity Blight. Amity also has prints from head to toe, as well as a troll skirt piece, which is a really useful piece, honestly. Amity uses the standard female hairpiece, as I felt this is what LEGO would do for the character if they made the Owl House sets. Amity has 2 facial expressions, one smiling and one angry expression. She's a lot simpler accessory-wise than Luz, featuring just her staff, with a new sitting cat piece in white to represent her talisman. Our third minifigure should have been Willow, but I accidentally made her 4th on the checklist. So our actual third minifigure is Gus Porter, one of the simpler figures in the CMF. His torso was very similar to the Blacktron Classic Space Era torsos of past. His prints are relatively simple, also being his Halloween costume. His eye color was the hardest to decipher from the show, so I just chose silver. His accessories include his crown, showing his status as president of the Human Club, as well as his staff, featuring his chameleon talisman on top. He also has an alternate angry expression. Now, our third minifigure is Willow Park. Willow is the first character in the CMF to feature a new hairpiece, which is a pigtails design, of which I am very proud of. Her design is also based on her Halloween costume, and much like Amity, uses the troll skirt piece. She has 2 facial expressions, a smiling facial expression, as well as a powered-up face when Willow goes a little kooky and crazy in For the Future. Her accessories include 2 plant pieces to show her powers, as well as her staff, which is a brick-built Vee talisman. Who better to follow Willow with but her boyfriend, Hunter Nocera? I'm not sure what his last name would be. If you search up his last name, there isn't really a helpful result. Anyways, Hunter is the only member of the Hexside squad to not use mid-legs, as Hunter is considerably taller than the rest of the gang. Hunter's design features a sweater around his waist, very similar to the programmer from CMF Series 19. His torso is also the most fun to design, being based off Hunter's homemade wolf shirt, which you can actually purchase. It exists! Hunter has a new hairpiece which is in 2 colors, much like the show. He also has a face print with a scar design resembling that of Kylo Ren's. He also has a new bird mold for his talisman, Flapjack. Hunter also has 2 lightning bolts to represent his powers, as well as an alternate, more stern facial expression. Moving on from the Hexside squad, we've got Camila Nocera, Luz's mom. Her design is very similar, featuring a new facial expression with glasses, a new jacket print which goes down to the legs, as well as her pride pin, which has become an iconic part of her character. She has 2 accessories, being a bat and a computer, as well as an alternate, more scared expression. Initially, this CMF was meant to be 2 parts, one based on the characters trapped in the human realm, and one for the characters in the demon realm. So to wrap up the human realm characters, we have Vee Nocera. Vee is a very simple minifigure, featuring new prints for her torso, arms, and legs, as well as a new hairpiece, with a fade effect similar to Vi Marathi from the Weird Galaxy's Edge set from 2020, as well as a new face. She also has an alternate, more scared facial expression. Her 2 accessories are 2 of the plant pieces Willow used, but in trans blue, to represent her powers. For the first minifigure of the Demon Realm, we have the Collector. The Collector is much of the same we've seen in the CMF, with a few exceptions. He was initially meant to use warm tan for his skin tone, but tan fits a lot better. Designs that are half one color, half the other are always difficult to line up, but I think I made it work here. He also has a new hood piece, which has a little bit of his hair peeking out. His face has the half purple, half tan design from the show, with a very overjoyed smile. He also has an alternate face, which is a lot more angry. He has 2 star pieces in 2 colors as his accessories. Next, we have everyone's favorite harpy woman, Eda the Owl Lady. Eda was a very simple minifigure to design, only needing a new torso, hip, and leg design. The color of her outfit was very hard to discern. It's a very dark purple, which initially led me to pick dark brown, but I think purple works better, and just makes this minifigure stand out more. She has a new hairpiece too, representing her haircut that she got for the season. For her accessories, she has a vial of elixir, which is a very similar build to the Minecraft potions, as well as the King of Demons, King. King is probably my favorite character in the show? I don't know, but designing him was a ton of fun. He uses the baby piece as a base, but he also has a new headpiece, resembling the skull design that King has, with 2 new prints for his eyes. He also has a piece that slides around his neck, representing his collar. To pair with Eda, we have Lilith Clawthorne. Lilith was the easiest figure to make in this whole CMF, needing just a new torso and face. She also has a cloth piece at her waist, and the same hairpiece as Luz, just in dark orange. She has 2 faces, a smiling one as well as a more worried expression. She also has 2 accessories, her staff, which is brick built, and Porta Hooty. More specifically, Doll Porta Hooty. The build is very substantial, with a pretty big build for the house, and minifigure jumper pieces with 1x1 round hollow studs to build up the neck of Hooty. Hooty of course uses 1 print for his face, in the new medium brown color. With 2 minifigures to go, our second to last minifigure is Raine Whispers. Well, it's not really Raine. I initially designed a Raine based on their main outfit, but had to scrap it as they're mostly a doll for this season. I figured I'd redesign it for accuracy's sake. Their design is very intricate, with the side of the minifigure needing to wrap around to the front seamlessly. The minifigure uses magenta and tan for most of its color scheme, as well as the Peter Capaldi Doctor Who hair in sand green to match the character's design in the show. Raine's facial expression is intentionally very blank, to represent the fact that they're, a doll. They also have a mouth design to represent the fact that they're, a doll. Their alternate facial expression is much of the same, but with the peering blue eyes of Emperor Belos, to represent the fact that Belos has taken over Raine's body. They also have the same plant piece as Willow and Vee, but in dark green, to represent Belos's sludge? And speaking of Belos, our final minifigure of the series is Emperor Belos. Belos is very different to the other characters in the show, because, he looks like this.
You're ugly, you're disgusting.
And as a result, translating the design was very difficult to do, but I think I did a decent job. He uses a modified version of the Aquaman hair in tan with 2 horns. He also has a new design for his face, torso, and arms, all of which I'm very proud of. Rather than making a new torso, I chose to show Belos' very slim, shriveled body through negative space on the sides of the torso. For his legs, I chose to make a design very similar to the Darth Maul legs from 2013, but he uses skeleton legs instead of robotic legs, and I feel this works better than printed legs. Overall, while this isn't my favorite minifigure for the CMF, it's still one I'm very proud of and a great way to cap off this video. And that's all for the CMF. This is the first CMF I've ever completed, and it's one I'm very, very proud of. I even made a custom baggie and checklist. The baggie is some of the minifigures on the front, as well as the Owl House and Disney Plus logos. The CMF baggie is in a pinkish color, which is a color that takes up a lot of the palette of this show. The checklist is much of the same, showcasing all the minifigures, some of which have their accessories. I wanted to include Porta Hooty, but unfortunately he's just too big. Anyways, that's all for the video, and thank you all for 5,000 subscribers. You all are truly the best. I couldn't do any of what I do here without all of you. For the future, I want to do more Hell of a Boss, as you all seem to clearly like that, so look out for more of that stuff. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and thank you to the cast, crew, directors, and producers of The Owl House for making one of the most unforgettable pieces of media of my life.